Map scales are essential for interpreting distances on maps and blueprints. They establish the relationship between a measurement on the map and the corresponding distance on the ground. A map scale of 1 inch equals 1 foot, represented as 1:12, signifies that every inch on the map corresponds to 1 foot in the real world. This is a relatively large scale, often used for detailed plans where precision is crucial. For example, if a line on the map measures 2 inches, it represents an actual distance of 2 feet. A map scale of 1 inch equals 10 feet, or 1:120, means that each inch on the map represents 10 feet on the ground. This scale is smaller than 1 inch equals 1 foot and is suitable for representing larger areas with less detail. A measurement of 0.5 inches on the map would then correspond to 5 feet on the ground. When a map uses a scale of 1 inch equals 20 feet, shown as 1:240, each inch on the map corresponds to 20 feet in reality. This scale allows for the representation of even larger areas, but with a further reduction in detail. If you measure 3 inches on the map, it translates to 60 feet in the real world. The map scale of 1 inch equals 50 feet, expressed as 1:600. 1 inch on the map indicates 50 feet on the ground. This scale is useful for depicting extensive areas such as building sites or small neighborhoods. A distance of 0.25 inches on the map represents 12.5 feet on the ground. Finally, a map scale of 1 inch equals 100 feet, written as 1:1200, signifies that every inch on the map represents 100 feet in the real world. This is a relatively small scale, often used for representing large areas like entire towns or sections of a city. A measurement of 1.5 inches on the map would then correspond to 150 feet on the ground. Understanding these scales is critical for accurate interpretation of maps and blueprints. Firstly, identify the scale being used on the map. Secondly, measure the distance on the map between the 2 points of interest. Thirdly, use the scale to convert the measured distance on the map to the corresponding distance on the ground. For example, if the map scale is 1 inch equals 20 feet and the distance between 2 buildings on the map is 2.5 inches, then the actual distance between the buildings is 2.5 inches multiplied by 20 feet per inch, which equals 50 feet. Different map scales are chosen based on the level of detail needed and the size of the area being represented. Large-scale maps such as 1 inch equals 1 foot show a small area with a high level of detail, while small-scale maps such as 1 inch equals 100 feet show a large area with less detail. Choosing the appropriate map scale depends on the specific application and the information that needs to be conveyed. When working with maps, always pay attention to the scale and make sure to use it correctly to avoid errors in your measurements.